Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Unfortunately, YouTube not being easy on us. It's definitely pushing us to the absolute limit. But we are back up and running, and hopefully we can stay running. Anyway, regardless, in the meanwhile, Nitro Gash and Ginger Tiger on the front row. With 10 minutes to go. And DJ Madman just popping in a really good lap time there, putting himself into P3. He is sitting quite comfortably with the two Aston Martins. Callum, though, P4. And a few other drivers on a potential in-lap and out-lap. So not many drivers going for a lap, but one man who looks to potentially be on one was Wacky Jackie, but he is 1.4 down on this lap, so potentially an in-lap coming from him as well. But we'll just have a wait and see. Sir Spud on the track, though. He's not set a current lap time, so this will be the first for the Red Bull driver, if he can keep it all cleanly. Of course, track limit's very important around here. So easily done as a corner like this, going through cops. Very easy to run wide, especially in the race format when you're following that car. The Mercedes, though, gets out of the way, so Sir Spud has a clear run here through Maggots and Beckett, and that's nicely done for him. Aston Martin up ahead, weaving across, so no tow or partial tow for Sir Spud. But now throws it into Stowe, runs quite a lot on the inside curb, gives a good berth to track limits in terms of the outside. And now through Vale, gets the power down. And what can he put? He can put his first lap time 31.2, pops it into P11 ahead of Mikey on that run. But of course now all drivers are currently on the soft tyre. I say that because Ginger Tiger's lap time was previously on the medium set. Oh, Spud gets just out of the way of Klipskiri, but that was a little bit close. But we'll have a look, though. Who else is on a lap? Bruce currently on a lap. Strong result for Bruce and the McLaren boys last week out in Azerbaijan, picking up a podium for McLaren. So they'll definitely want to end it on a high here for the Papaya. As I say, the Papaya looking a little bit more chromed out this season. Quite a unique livery, but special one. A little bit reminiscent of the Vodafone era back in 2011, 12 and 13 onwards, around that time frame. But Bruce goes through into Cops without any issue. Now the infamous Maggots and Beckett rides the curbs fairly decently there. The car working well, very close on track limits there on the inside for Bruce, but it's kept it well within. Now down the hanger straight. And what can Bruce pull up on this lap time? Now going through Stowe. Track limits. Nicely done there. Ginger Tiger pops into a 26 as 26.9 for Ginger Tiger. He's on provisional pole. What about Bruce? We're watching Bruce deployed all his battery there up into P4. Good strong lap from him. What about the other championship contender, Nitro Gash, into P2? So he keeps this fight still going. And that was a good lap from Nitro Gash. But the gap 4 tenths now running with the other McLaren, JPH. Where can he pop that McLaren into? An improvement of 2 tenths, but still in P8 for JPH. So it's not going to move him up a position there. What about Klipskiri? Klipskiri on an out lap last time round, so surely on a lap, and he is in fact on a lap, just over under 2 tenths at the last sector line. We'll see what it is on the next detection point, but through into Cops. The cars look absolutely solid. Doesn't look to be anything bothering them, but Maggots and Beckett, you can see that Red Bull sliding its way around. And now DRS down the hanger straight. He's got an Aston Martin in front of him. He could pick up a bit of a tow here without too much dirty air through this final portion of the track. Into Stowe. What does Klipskiri have in that Red Bull this evening? Can he challenge the two Aston Martins for a potential podium or win throughout the final corner? And he sets into P2. He can. Right in the middle between the two Aston Martins. That will certainly please Ginger Tiger and certainly Clipskiri himself. But good, strong running from him. But who else is also on the lap? Oh, Stephen, the other Mercedes. The other Mercedes of DJ Madman, who's currently in 6th on an out lap. Oh, Stephen just over 10th up at the first sector line. A little bit of hesitation on the throttle for him as he picks up the DRS, and he's just under 5/10, so some improvement for him. What does he have going into Stowe? Again, a little bit of hesitation on turning and throttle application, but he can hopefully make it all up in this final portion now. Through Vale, no problem, out of club. Traction looking decent as well for him. A little bit of correction though on the exit, but he moves ahead of his teammate Madman, who Madman in fact now on a lap himself. Not even a tenth separating the two Mercedes boys, so that's very close between the two of them. But the front runners mainly now into the pits with 4.5 minutes to go. 4.5 minutes left of qualifying in this season, ladies and gentlemen. As we're riding on board with DJ Madman out of Beckett through Chapel. And he's just under 2/10 up, so this would, in theory, put him into P5 if he can keep it as is. Nicely given to Stowe. Through the first of Vale. Now out of club. Out through club. Little wiggle, and in fact to P3. So some big improvement in that final third sector. That's a very strong running there for Madman. That puts Nitrogash more critically into P4. So at the moment, advantage Ginger Tiger. But who else is on a lap? I believe Unheard Catnap is, and he is in fact on a lap. The Williams for tonight, reserving of course. But running that special Williams Golf livery. I think a lot of us love to see the Golf livery return, and he was awfully close there to track limits. I can't emphasize enough how much the track limits can make or break your lap time. Every little millimetre, so you go closer, the more lap time you get. But how close do you want to get? As at the moment, Unheard Catnap has abandoned the run there at 1.6. So I think this will potentially be either him coming in, if he doesn't have the fuel, or going for another lap. What about Wacky Jackie? He's currently on the lap. It looks 2/10 apparently. Even before the sector time. I don't know if that is accurate or not, but we'll wait and see. As he currently gets out into the first sector, and he's 4/10 down, so I think this will probably not be an improvement for him. But 2 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, and of course all eyes will be on the two championship protagonists. I'll run down the standings very shortly once this qualifying session is over, but all I can tell you at this point in time, the gap 8/10 between Ginger Tiger and Nitrogash, but it's advantage Ginger Tiger not only in this session but in the driver's standings. Ginger Tiger has over Nitrogash. That is a strong advantage to have, but anything can happen in the space of the next hour. But now all eyes on Nitrogash for what is the final run of the season here, and this can be all or nothing. Currently sitting in P4. Meanwhile, teammate Ginger Tiger in P1, probably not what Nitrogash needs at this point in time. DRS wide open. What can Nitrogash throw at this for the first sector? He's over 3/10 up at the moment. That's a good sector one, but he's still got 2 sectors to go. He goes through Brooklands and Luffield, no issue. Deploys some power, and now has the wait until he reaches Copse Corner. But he's going to have full commitment here if he wants any chance, and he does throw that car in. Little gear shift down, but some commitment from Nitrogash surely through Maggots and Beckett, and he absolutely throws that car around. Gets on the throttle as early as he can. A little wiggle from the rear, but that's not going to hurt him too much. He's lost a bit of time though but he's still over 3.5 tenths up. So at the moment, it could be provisional pole for Ginger, or it could go the way of Nitrogash. But this is it now. Final sector for Nitrogash. All or nothing. Can he throw this car into the front row? Can he throw it into provisional pole? He's going to deploy everything he's got to the line. Will it be enough? It's just shy of Ginger Tiger. Ginger Tiger holds on from Nitrogash. But where's Ginger Tiger? Ginger Tiger starting his lap just now, going through the first few corners. What about Clips Kiri though? He's a strong contender for tonight. DJ Madman's finished that run. He stays P4 unless somebody can deny him. Clips Kiri's had a massive moment and he's off. Clips Kiri off at Chapel. Oh, and that was very close with the Williams. But that's it for Clips Kiri. Clips Kiri not going to improve on this run, but all eyes now to the championship leader, Ginger Tiger. He does have provisional pole at the moment, but you don't know who behind him is going faster. He's going to have to make sure this lap counts if he wants to take the safest option. And he's over 10th up, ladies and gentlemen, going down the hangar straight. So we could see an even faster time for the Aston Martin of Ginger Tiger. Through into Stowe. No issues there. And now just 3 corners. Swing it left, then swing it right. And get the power on as early as you can. And that looks nice and thin. And it is much faster. In fact, 2.5 tenths faster at 26.6. So that is a very strong lap for Ginger Tiger. And I think that is realistically it. Unless JPH is going quite substantially faster by quite some margin. He is going faster on this run. Oh, and he's lost it on the end. Oh, and he's gone to the grass. So that's not going to be an improvement for JPH, unfortunately. As he's on an outlap, in fact, it says. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the way round. But most importantly, the 2 championship fighters in this battle that's been going on from round 1 all the way till now. Ginger Tiger and Nitrogash line up on the front row, but Ginger Tiger putting in an incredible lap there when it mattered. But we're going to have the 2 championship protagonists go together into turn 1 and 2, of course. So that's going to be very interesting through Abbey. Yeah, that's really going to spicy things up. So your classification, Ginger Tiger and Nitrogash front row, of course, 2.5 to separate the pair of them, but they're going to only be separated by a couple of meters on the grid. The row behind them, though, Clips Kiri P3, he's got Madman to keep him company. Then Callum for VCarb with the Williams of Catnap in P6. Then Bruce and O'Steven on the row behind with JPH and Mikey for P9 and 10. And it's Wacky Jackie and Sir Spud on the last row. That makes up the grid for this evening. But now that the final qualifying, of course, has been wrapped up, we can go through the drivers' standings. Of course, I'm sure you're all biting your nails at that. But as mentioned, the two championship protagonists separated by a matter of 8 points, 95 for Ginger Tiger, and Nitrogash behind on 87 points. So very, very good if you're in Ginger Tiger's positioning, but it's not over if you're Nitrogash, that's for sure as well. But besides them, DJ Madman then, P3 for him, he's 25 points off, so he's realistically out of the championship fight. But he's got Clips Kiri, though, not far behind him, keeping him company for the battle for P3, of course, in the Red Bull. Then it's the other Mercedes of O'Steven, he's on 51. And then it's Bruce with JPH, the 2 McLaren boys, 49 and 45. Then from It's the Cat and Sir Spud, 37 36. And then the War Islander in the top 10 still somehow, remarkably. Shows how strong he was in the first few rounds. He's obviously been, I'd say, promoted to Tier 1, so that's why his points haven't been added, but he's in P10. Then Callum in P11 for VCarb on 32 points. And then Ronan followed by Kent for 13 and 12 points. And then, of course, Lionel Griesby, he's also tied with Kent. And then Mikey, the last of the point scorers in this championship on 7, followed by Maris and Ivan. But that will be your driver standings. The constructors, though, wrapped up early on for Team Aston Martin. They've looked absolutely dominant this season, and it's shown. They are champions for Tier 2 for season 23, so congratulations to that, but I'm sure all eyes will be between the drivers. But they've got it over 60-point advantage between themselves and Mercedes in P2 of Madman and O'Stephen. They're on 120. Then it's Red Bull sitting in third. They're on 104, but bear in mind McLaren sitting on 94 with that strong result last week as well. They could potentially snatch a P3 here, and that would be a very intriguing result. I mean, Mercedes even could be at risk from McLaren and Red Bull if they're not too careful, but with both of them being here tonight, it's going to be very difficult for either Red Bull or McLaren to snatch from the Mercedes pair. But anyway, moving on, Alpine sitting in P5. It's the Cat and Ronan on 50 points. Then they've got VCarb further behind in P6. Callum and Kent on 32, and then the Ferrari of Lionel Griesby and Mikey on 19 with Sauber, Haas and Williams all scoring no points. But the tyre strategies, ladies and gentlemen, majority mediums, 2 hard runs and a soft. But that will be it as we wait to line up. Good evening to Sir Spud, though, in the chat. He's predicting 2 VSCs. I'm going to throw in the mix here. I'm going to say 1 VSC, 1 safety car, I think. But yeah, we wait for the final driver. That is Sir Spud. The Sonny Hayes tactic. But I can't believe, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to count down for the final race of the season. As the lights will start to tick down. 7 races done. 7 qualifyings done. 2 sprint races done. 1 final race to go, and it's lights out and away we go. Nitro Gash has gotten the better of the launch. Nitro Gash through into the lead into Abbey. That's the perfect start for him. But Ginger Tiger now potentially under threat from Klipskiri. He might be under threat. He will be under threat here. Ginger Tiger and Klipskiri going side by side into turn 4. But Klipskiri gets ahead of the Aston Martin. That's crucial in this stage. That's the worst start for Ginger Tigers. Oh, a driver goes very wide. And that's a VCarb sliding off in the background. I think that's Callum. Callum going round there. And in fact, Callum serving a penalty. A severe collision, in fact, gets a 10-second penalty with Mikey. So that's a disastrous start, but McLaren's gone off. Is that Bruce? That's Bruce. Terrible start for Team McLaren. But what a start if you are Nitro Gash. There's the 2 McLarens further behind, switching positions here. But that was quite a start for Nitro Gash. That the important talking point of this race. That is a perfect start that he needs to get right, and he did get very much right on that occasion. But into the lead, through into turn 1, and now he has a Red Bull separating himself and his teammate. So we're just having a little look potentially with the unheard Catnap. He hasn't been heard much this season, hasn't been racing with us this season, but he is here tonight. And trying to change that unheard to being heard. So go on, Catnap, show us what you got. As he's having a little look on O'Stephen, who is, bear in mind, on the hard tyre. As Callum's getting the 10-second penalty now for the speeding in the pit lane. I imagine that's Callum potentially retiring early on, speeding in the pit lane despite that. But we'll have a look, of course. But riding on board now with unheard Catnap just under 3/10 behind. Having the DRS, of course, enabled now. They just couldn't get close enough to potentially make a little look. But the only issue here for Catnap is the fact that O'Stephen will pick up DRS, of course, from the other Williams for tonight, which is... we've gotten a little bit of an issue. That's mighty unfortunate. We did manage to get this last season round. And let's see if we can hopefully fix it. EA servers don't play kind to us, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies. We will try and sort it out. Let's just apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Just stick with us, and hopefully we can try and get it all sorted out. But you know, the EA game doesn't play nice, unfortunately, with the last couple of races. We'll try and sort it out in the next few minutes.